in here. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Per usual, I'll let it fill in before I start getting to some of the bits and pieces of the game. Hey. Are y'all upset about this loss? I'm really not like that upset about this loss. Like, to be honest with you. I'm not really upset about this loss. I got a few things I want to cover from the game. Talk about a few things at the trade deadline. Honestly, guys, um, if I meant to record after the Pacers game on Monday, and I thought the game started at 7. So I cut the game on at 7. I cut the game on at 7, the Pacers game, and it was like 6 minutes left in the second quarter. I was like, nobody told me that the game started at 6 p.m. versus the Pacers. So I was like, damn, I can't even record. I know it's been like 3 games since I recorded. I think the last time I recorded was the San Antonio Spurs game, something crazy like that. So my bad for not recording, guys. Saturday, I was busy. Monday, like I said, I planned on recording and completely lost track of time. Completely forgot that the game was at 6 p.m. starting. So that's on me. But tonight I was like, I gotta record, even though it's really not a lot to take away from this game, man. It's really, really not a lot to take away from this game. The Rockets just didn't have the effort tonight. It was from the beginning, you could tell that they were just lethargic. Boston came out playing defense like it was a playoff game, and I think that they kind of played possum a little bit. I think Boston did a really, really good job of playing possum. Anthony Simons got traded. They traded for Vucevic, but Vucevic is not in town yet. Jaylen Brown's not playing. Second night of a back-to-back. I think they did a really good job of playing possum. I think that they saw that the Rockets do not get up for bad teams, looked at that roster, figured that the Rockets would look across from them and see that this was a quote-unquote bad team on paper, and they took it to them. I mean, it's really – Derek White had like 5 points when the Rockets played them earlier this season. He was a minus 20 in that game, that first meeting. Derek White had 28 points. He was the best player on the floor tonight. Derek White was the best player on the court tonight. I mean, he was only 10 of 25 from the floor, but in that third quarter, he was hitting threes like he was Steph Curry. I mean, really, really, really like just man, I mean, crazy work from the Celtics tonight. But credit to the Celtics, man. Derek White plus 15, Kata 10 points, 19 rebounds, 5 blocks, 2 steals, plus 22. You got to give him credit. Peyton Pritchard off the bench, 27 points, 7 assists, 9 of 20 from the floor, 5 of 10 from 3. Ron Harper Jr. with his first career start, he was good, 11 points, 9 rebounds, almost had a double-double. Shireman, 15 of 10, like 4 assists, 5 of 10 from the floor, had a double-double. Luka Garza, 19 points, 6 rebounds. Luka Garza is a really good player. He's just like, he's in that middling tier of player, like too good for G League, too good for college, obviously, but just not really good enough to like really be like a reliable long-term player or answer in the NBA, a long-term big. 7 of 13 from the floor for Luka Garza. This was just credit to the Boston Celtics for showing up this game. The Rockets didn't show up at all. It's really not a lot to talk about. The one thing I will say is this team has to figure out a way to get more three-point variance. I mean, 82 shots, 30 of them from 3, and that was kind of like a good night for the Houston Rockets in terms of like three-point attempts. The Rockets got up a lot in comparison to what they normally do. But this team cannot continue to lose the math battle this terribly. I mean, Boston shot 51 threes. They made what? 8 more threes in the Houston Rockets. 8 more threes. That's 24 points. That's the game, kind of. Pretty much that's the game. You know what I mean? So it's just a really, really bad performance. I just noticed that my headphones are not even plugged in to the computer. I just got these things in yapping like crazy. I hope that the sound doesn't sound bad, guys. If the sound sounds bad, bear with me. But I don't think that it does sound bad. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'll just yap through it. Hopefully it doesn't affect the recording process. But yeah, the Rockets process on offense, I'm just not a fan of. I think that they have a lot of work to do. Just with Kevin Durant didn't even look like he wanted to be there tonight. 15 points, minus 22, 4 of 11 from the floor, 0 of 4 from three. Amen Thompson, he's really usually really sharp on both sides of the ball. Um, uh, 3 of 8 from the floor, 3 turnovers. Didn't really do a good job of finishing around the rim. That's one of his bread and butters. Jabari Smith Jr. only 13 points. He scored 9 of them in the first quarter, or something like that. Like, he scored a lot of his points in the first quarter. Alper Sengun, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 5 of 12 from the floor, 3 turnovers. Um, this whole idea of wasting so much of the shot clock to post up Alper Sengun, wasting so much of the shot clock getting into an offensive set that involves a Kevin Durant or Alper Sengun isolation. It takes up way too much time on the offense. They have to do things quicker. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to change. Now, I will attribute a lot of this loss to, again, the Rockets just this whole season, their entire thing has been playing down to the competition. That is what they're doing. You know what I mean? I think, honestly, they were looking ahead to the Charlotte Hornets. I really do. And that's like, when has a team ever looked forward to playing the Charlotte Hornets? But the Charlotte Hornets are one of the hottest teams in basketball right now. I think that they are looking ahead of the Celtics, especially with no JB and all of the things that happened. And they just did not look ready to play. Sengun was the only one that early that kind of looked like he at least had like the intensity, at least to me, in my eyes. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. Like, Reed Shepherd, 9 points, 3 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 8 from three. All of his threes came when the game was out of balance. So I really don't count those. I really would like to see us do more for Tari Eason to get him shots. I know he's a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. He's been elite, a sniper from three, but they got to do more to get Tari Eason some shots at the 3-point line, man. Like, utilize this 2 of 2 from three. Why did he only have 2 attempts? Why did Tari Eason only have 2 attempts from three? I don't understand. Like, the process there. I mean, he had the best plus minus out of all the starters, -9. Like, I just don't understand it. Just again, I'm gonna say this a lot. The process, just the process of it all, man. The offensive process. Pretty much, man. That's all I got on the Rockets, man. It's really nothing to say about this game overall. It's just the Rockets didn't come to play. I'm not really upset. Like, if they actually looked like they want to play and they lost and the process looked the way it looked, I'd be a little bit more worried. I'd be a little bit more pressed. But this is a bad game. The Rockets struggling against the Kings of this year, the Pelicans, the Jazz, the Mavericks. Like, they have lost to some bad teams this year. This is just another one of those instances. And the Celtics are not a bad team, but just the roster that they put out tonight could catch a lot of teams slipping if they look and they're like, oh, I'm thinking I'm going to play Jaylen Brown, and you're not playing Jaylen Brown. I can see how they, got caught slipping. On to the trade stuff, man. I did a podcast with Robert Land of the Houston Sports Podcast. Y'all go check out his podcast. It's great stuff on there, man. He talks all Houston sports, Texans, Rockets, Astros, hell, Dynamo and Dash. Like, he talks all of Houston sports. But everybody, like, I see in the comments right here, like, how do we not trade for Kobe White? Are we going to just keep trying to get Reed to help us win? He's a rookie. See, like, for me with the trade stuff, I just don't think that it makes sense. Like, if the Rockets trade for Kobe White, are they going to be better than Denver? Are they going to be better than San Antonio? Are they going to be better than OKC? The only thing that they will improve in is, hey, they got better at the point guard position. That's it. But if it doesn't push you over the top, I don't understand why the Rockets would trade an asset who they have under cost control, non-guaranteed money on these deals for a guy that's going to be an unrestricted free agent this offseason. The Rockets will have no bird rights. They won't have any rights to even try to maintain Kobe White. He's going to be unrestricted. It just doesn't make sense to give up a Tari Eason or even a Dorian Finney-Smith for as bad as he's looked. It just does not make sense to get rid of these types of guys for a Kobe White, in my opinion. It It doesn't. As bad as the Rockets, y'all may feel the Rockets need a point guard, and I do think that they need improvement at the point guard play. I don't think that there is a point guard out there that is available for trade that would make sense for the Rockets to give up something to get something. I just don't think that it's a feasible option. I really don't. And I think that we need to start looking at the bigger picture. We need to start reeling it in a little bit, being a little bit more patient. Everybody said with the Kevin Durant trade, like, yes, the Rockets are going to be contenders. Yes, the Rockets plan on going down the stretch and winning the championship and doing the things that they need to do to win and all these things. But at the same time, we still said we wanted Jabari to develop. We wanted Amen to develop. We wanted Reed, Sengun, Tari Eason. We wanted these guys to develop. And it seems like all of a sudden, Rockets fans have forgot about development. That was what we were supposed to be doing this entire time, was developing while contending. Now the Rockets are fourth in the Western Conference. They're one of the best teams in the league. And because they hit a rough stretch against teams here and there, all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's blow up this whole process and go big game hunting for an asset that's not going to put us over the top. I just don't understand it. Now, if you're trading for a player that's going to put you over the top and all it costs is Dorian Finney-Smith, I'm all for it. Kobe White is not that player, guys. He's not that player. Like, we got to be honest. We got to be honest with ourselves. Like, I think Raphael Stone's whole bag is he's going to see what happens on the buyout market. He's going to look at Chris Paul, even though I don't think Chris Paul's coming here. He's going to look at Mike Conley. He's going to look at Lonzo Ball. Are these great names? Are these guys that are like key contributors on the teams that they're going to get bought out from? No, they're not. But they are something that's a little bit better than what the Rockets have now. And the beauty of it is you could bring those guards in and improve, even if it's marginally. You can improve without giving up Dorian Finney-Smith, who I believe, in my opinion, Dorian Finney-Smith is going to be a key piece versus the Denver Nuggets, the San Antonio Spurs, the Oklahoma City Thunders. When they're trying to switch and mismatch hunt, and you have a guy out there that's 6'8", 6'9", that can defend multiple positions, that can be a spacer, I think that that's going to be big time come playoffs. And I'm not going to give up on this guy. And he hasn't even played a full month of basketball. I'm just not going to give up on Dorian Finney-Smith. I've seen way too much in his career to think that he's a negative asset this early in the season. I've seen way too much, and I don't buy it. And I don't think that you should give up, again, wing depth for Kobe White. Because now you're going to rely on Josh Okogie more. You're going to rely on Jayshawn Tate more. You're going to rely on Jabari Smith Jr. more. You're going to rely on Tari Eason more. Amen Thompson's going to have to slot. Instead of using Amen Thompson as a guard and a wing, you're just going to be predominantly now using him in wing minutes, which means it's more pressure on Reed. It's more pressure on Kobe. It just, to me, it does not make a lot of sense in things. And I don't think that the Rockets should do it. And I'm glad that they didn't do it for Kobe White. I would have been happy with Kobe White, but just not at the expense of Dorian Finney-Smith, and definitely not at the expense of Tari Eason, although I don't think that was even a factor. Now, there are some reports out there saying the Rockets are looking at Ayo Dosunmu. Hey, I would be open to that. I would be open to Ayo Dosunmu. I like Ayo Dosunmu. I really do. He has size. He can defend. He can shoot the three. He's quick. He's athletic. I like Ayo Dosunmu. You know, I know Mike Conley is 38 years old. Like, Chris Paul obviously is like 38, 39 years old. He's old and he's undersized. You know, Lonzo Ball, he's big, he's long, he has, you know, he could play defense and everything, but Lonzo Ball has not been healthy. And when he's been healthy this year with Cleveland, he's not been good. He's not been good. So I don't think that any trade is necessarily worth doing, especially for a Kobe White type player who does not put you over the edge definitively over the three teams that are above the Rockets in the standings. And who knows, man, anything can happen in the playoff series. Not saying I'm banking on it, but a Chet could get hurt. A Shea could get hurt. A Wemby could get hurt. Anything can happen in a series that could swing the pendulum in your favor. That's all I'm saying. Croatia 1 says, yes, but Kobe White would resign with us. Do you realize Fred will be on the men's restriction for 1 to 2 months when he's back? That's like, how do you know Kobe White will resign with you? He's an unrestricted free agent. You don't know. You don't know. A team could be out there looking and be like, we can steal him from the Rockets. The Rockets still have to take care of Amen Thompson's contract this year. They still have to take care of Tari East's contract this year. They still have to take care of these guys. And you're saying trade like tradable salaries, guys that are under contract for a guy that's an unrestricted free agent where you don't have his bird rights or anything that's guaranteeing you him staying in Houston. Yeah. And I don't and this whole thing about wasting KD's years, I mean, blame injuries. Don't blame the Rockets. Blame injuries. If Kevin Durant looked like he was slowing down at a like alarming rate, I would be like, oh, they're wasting a year. Kevin Durant doesn't look like he's slowing down to me. And he's still really good of a really elite scorer. He still can lock in on defense, one of the best defenders in the NBA when he wants to. What are we wasting exactly? And we're definitely not saving a Kevin Durant year by trading for Kobe White. So this whole idea that they're wasting a year, I don't see it. I just don't think that. You only go live and take an L. Hey man, hey, it is what it is. Sometimes I don't feel like editing, you know. Sometimes I just like to get on here and yap and then be done with the video and not have to edit and stuff. That's one of the main reasons, actually. Man, I wish we had Fred. Yeah, I know Fred's injury really hurt, man. But I think that just the Fred injury combined with the Steven Adams injury, combined with just a lot of other things, it's just crazy. Rockets problem is since mid-December 3-point shooting has fallen off a cliff. Yeah, the 3-point shooting, because the Rockets was like, they were the lowest team in variance in terms of attempts and stuff like that, but they were the best in 3-point percentage. That was like the trade-off that they had earlier this year. And it's obviously that's not happening anymore for the Houston Rockets. Reed has fallen off a cliff. We all know Jabari Smith Jr. struggles, although he was 3 of 7 from 3 tonight, so he wasn't that bad. 42%, 41, 42%, something like that from 3 tonight from Jabari. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just think that this team, I think you have to take an approach like you took last trade deadline. A lot of people wanted the Rockets last year to trade for De'Aaron Fox or to kick the tires on Kevin Durant last year or to kick the tires on Devin Booker or Zach LaVine. Like these were conversations that were being had last year at this very exact time in the season. A lot of people wanted Fred going. Some people was talking about Jalen potentially being involved in the trade and stuff at this time of the year. Raphael Stone held it close to the chest, waited to the offseason, and then he made his move when the player became available at the price that he was comfortable with. I think he's going to do something very similar this year. And I just think that you have to look at the bigger picture because, again, making a trade for a player that doesn't definitively put you over the top just does not make sense to me. The Rockets used to do that all the time in the Daryl Morey era. Trade for this guy, trade for that guy, trade for this guy, trade for that guy. And it never conveyed to a championship. It never conveyed to a championship. It never conveyed to a championship. It never did. You have to learn how to operate and learn from your mistakes and not continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. I just don't put no fear. And that's fine. If they don't put fear in anybody, that's fine. That's not their job to put fear in anybody. Their job is to win basketball games. If they can't win basketball games, it is what it is. You can be scared of somebody and still lose to them. And you can be scared of somebody and win to them and beat them. How many times did I read this one? Worst loss of the season. No, this was definitely the worst loss of the season, in my opinion. I don't know. But if I did say it's the worst loss of the season earlier this season, at that point in the season, December 17th or January 2nd, it was the worst loss of the season up until that point. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Jabari is who he is, just average to both. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Chris. I really do. I think that I think he's going to be the big. He's going to be the asset going this year, traded for a big player. I think that y'all heard it here first. I think Jabari would have to have a playoff series where he averaged 22 to 26 a game, or maybe not that high, 18 through 22 points a game on like really good shooting splits in order to not get traded this year. I think that's the only way that he could survive not being traded next offseason. But I think Jabari, the $22 million that kicks in this year, I think Jabari is going to be the player that's going to be shipped out. I really do. I think they're going to prioritize Tari Eason. And I think that they're going to prioritize, obviously, DFS because he has a more favorable contract. And I think Jabari Smith is going to be the contract that's that's used to get another player here that's like useful. Whether that's like, and I know I'm not even looking at contracts, I'm just throwing out names. Whether that's like a Michael Porter Jr., whether that's like whoever, like a player of that type of ilk. If like Jabari could be used for that type of a player. Gotta start running. I made a joke. I said, man, Ime Udoka, both Ime and Alper Sengun got ejected from tonight's game. I made a joke. I said, Ime Udoka would rather be ejected from the game than make an offensive adjustment. It's just a fact at this point. All he's going to say is physical, rebounding, defense in the post game. And since he got ejected, they're going to ask about the refs. He's going to say, get some fucking glasses. That's Ime's bag. That's his go-to every single time. If you feel like the season is over in February, that's fine, man. Everybody's entitled to their opinion for sure. Just for the record, I was never a fan of Jabari contract over Tarius. I think that you had to give Jabari the contract because Jabari, just based off of pick equity and where he was drafted, like in the politics behind that, he has more of an upside that you can quote unquote sell than more so than Tari Eason. Tari Eason obviously is the better player, and I think he's always been a better player than Jabari Smith. But I think Jabari Smith Jr., 22 years old or 23 years old, whatever the case may be, I think that you could sell Jabari like, hey, look, this guy's scratching the surface of his potential. This is what he learned. This is his contract. You could sell high on that contract, and a team could be like, we can change him here. Jabari is very young into his career. How many times do we see teams take flyers on young players that didn't work out in another destination and bring them to their team thinking that things can change? And things may change for Jabari. He may go on to have an excellent career, but I think Jabari is going to be the trade chip traded this offseason to bring in a better player. I really do think that. Ime is such a high hit. Yes, correct, man. Ime is definitely that. No, I don't think. And also, yes, Sengun. I do not think that Amen gets a max. I think that Amen gets somewhere closer to a max than like Jabari, Sengun, Jalen. I think he gets somewhere closer to a max than them, but I could be wrong. Raphael Stone has seemed to be he's proven to be like a very tough negotiator, and he's gotten really team-friendly contracts done. And the only one that wasn't team-friendly really was Fred VanVleet's, that $40 million. And after that second year, boom, team friendly. You know what I mean? So I do think that Amen will definitely get closer to the max than anybody else. He made a All-NBA defensive team. So I think that stands for something. That's something his agent could bring to the table. If he potentially does make an All-NBA team this year, I don't think he will. But Amen definitely will probably make All-Defensive NBA team this year as well. So that's 2 All-NBA defensive teams. May finish top 3 in DPOY this year. Again, that's something you can sell, bring to the negotiation table. That's why I think, and that's something Sengun and Jalen Green weren't able to bring to the negotiation table. They didn't make All-Stars. They didn't make All-NBA teams before they got their contracts. So I don't think that they could bring that to the table. Yeah, I'm not really worried about the standings right now. That'll take care of itself. Either the Rockets going to move up or they're not. Regardless, you're going to have to play these teams. I'm not worried about a game in Denver, like game 2 or game 4 or game 6 in Denver. It is what it is. These teams are very evenly matched. It's going to come down to the playoffs. It's going to come down to possessions and execution. And the Rockets just going to have to figure it out. Even needs a coach to come in and run the offense. Everybody keeps saying that. I don't think that's happening this year, man. But that's all I got, y'all. I'm about to get out of here, man. Y'all, thank y'all for watching, man. Subscribe, comment, hype up the video if y'all can for me. Please hype it up. Y'all already commented on it, so love that. Subscribe, tell a friend if they love the Rockets content, they love basketball content, whatever the case may be. Let me know and let me know. Subscribe. Thank you guys again. I'm out.